McDonald's employee Caleb in the drive-thru requesting full stop cheeseburger. We've got information, Charlie. The hell was that? That was me practicing making a radio call because right now I'm going to be talking about part 2 of mistakes I made in my flight training so you don't have to. Radio communications. Pretty early on in my training, I was told about Live ATC. This is a website where you can listen to air traffic controllers talking to pilots. I thought that if I listened to this enough, I would just become a pro at the radios. When I went to a lesson after a week of listening to Live ATC at work, I pressed the push to talk button, mind went blank, words were jumbled coming out of my mouth. I realized that passively listening to Live ATC was not enough. It took many repetitions of verbally practicing the flow and practicing the call in order to get better. Longer calls like an initial call to a tower are great because you can kind of practice doing that anywhere. Like the example from the first clip. Maybe don't do that because they'll think you're weird. What I loved about initial calls is I got to basically practice and rehearse them for as long as I wanted until I felt ready to press the push to talk button. However, responses and return calls are a little bit different, right? They keep you on your toes. So back to Live ATC, passively listening to it was not the move. Actively thinking about and listening, responding as if I was a pilot, I got a lot better at my responses. I would try to find a busy airport frequency with lots of training aircraft so I got as much practice as possible. Basically all aspects of aviation, it's important to think ahead and be prepared. This applies to radio communications too. Think ahead. With a little bit of experience, I was able to predict what the next call from a controller was going to be. Once I started thinking like this, I started to become a lot more successful with my responses and return calls. Be prepared. I try to be ready to write down or remember critical information that I can expect the controller to tell me.